Great. So hi, Alex. Tell us about a time you worked with a technical manager.
Yeah, a few years ago, I worked with a guy who worked for a big steel milling furnace design company,
Mhm.
and he'd been working there most of his life. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. And what did he find challenging?
So his function there was that he was a technical advisor, a technical manager. So it was his job to really know the ins and outs of the data, the
Mhm.
specifications, the tolerances of the furnaces they made. And he would go to big sales negotiations, and he would be the man who was called on if they wanted to know the tolerances of some specific data.
Mhm.
So his issues were that in French, he knew that he knew a lot about the equipment that they used, the products. But when he spoke in those meetings in English, he had an additional meaning which he would add when he didn't know a specification. Okay, so when he was asked a question that he didn't be able to recall from hand the data for in French, he would just say, "Sorry, I don't have that with me at the moment. I'll email it to you later."
Okay.
And there was no meaning attached to that, but in English, it became a huge thing about his English not being good enough. And it meant he'd go into meetings and he'd just stall and lose all his confidence because he thought it was a challenge on his English ability. Um,
Yeah, sure. So what strategies did you work on together?
yeah, so just by identifying the difference between the meaning that he added and didn't add in the two different languages, he was able to see that actually not knowing information sometimes to hand was not really a defect of his language, just that he didn't know. He was able to then add a different meaning, which is not knowing information means not knowing information,
Mhm.
and then build a strategy around dealing with that in English phrases. Sorry, I don't have that to hand. Can I get that to you later?
Nice.
Basically. And that was able to make quite a big change in his confidence in going into meetings.
Yeah, fantastic. So what's the takeaway?
So the takeaway is always be wary of the meanings that you add to the English that you use that maybe you don't add in your native language, and how that can affect your confidence.
Great. Thanks a lot.